everyone. So I was going to make a video about either my health or Eric's health today, but I need instead to do a little bit of ranting because I'm just really frustrated and kind of fed up today with some stuff that's going on with Eric's care. So let's see if I can actually focus and get things stated in a simple enough way. So Eric, for his treatment, has a portacath in his chest, which is a long-term IV access line. I also have a port for IV fluids and other medications and stuff that I get on a regular basis. So he has the port. He's had it since July, I think he got it put in. So he has the port. He went to clinic last Friday, and he talked about how he had been having some shortness of breath and I forget what else, but shortness of breath and some fatigue issues and stuff like that, which can be explained by any number of things. To be safe, they sent him down to get a CAT scan, a CT scan, and of his chest to make sure that there wasn't any infection or anything that they should be more concerned about going on. And so I was not there at clinic that day. I should mention that I have just gotten all of this information secondhand. So he had the CT scan done, and the only thing that it showed was that it was possible that his port had moved, and it was possible that it was pushing on his heart in a funny way, which I'm not sure exactly what they mean by that. I mean, I've had ports for over 10 years, and I don't know what they mean by that. But anyway, that's what they said. So they told him this and said they couldn't use the port anymore that day, so he had to get a peripheral IV line to have the rest of his treatment done. And that they wanted him to get an appointment to go back and have an appointment with interventional radiology, which is where the port was placed, and have them kind of determine if they needed to do anything or any of that. So this was Friday. Sorry, I'm making lunch at the same time. He came back from his appointment without any. He came back from clinic on Friday without any definitive appointment with IR, interventional radiology. Really without any more information except that the physician's assistant, the PA, who he had seen that day, was going to call with an appointment time and stuff like that. So that was Friday. Didn't hear anything over the weekend. Didn't hear anything on Monday. I think Tuesday morning, Eric got an email from the PA saying that IR had requested to see the CT scan, so she was sending that over, and she'd be in touch when she had any more information. So I'm going to assume that happened, that the CT scan got sent over, and that someone at IR looked at it, and then the next thing we knew, he was scheduled. I think maybe he got a phone call from IR directly, and he had an appointment scheduled for this morning. Today's Thursday. And he really wanted to have it resolved before tomorrow, Friday, because that's when he has to have treatment again, and he really didn't want to have to deal with another peripheral IV. So, so he had an appointment scheduled this morning to be there at 10:30, and then things would go from there. And there was kind of a whole range of possibilities, the worst of which would be that he would have to have the whole port replaced, which is minor surgery, and, of course we don't want that to happen, but if that was necessary, then that would be necessary. So, in order for him to be able to get to clinic, we had to have my mom come up yesterday, and she was kind of on call for the week in case we needed her. Eric didn't have clinic on Monday as he usually does because things got off because of a snowstorm, so my mom was not planning on coming up this week at all. But I had asked her if she would be on call, and she didn't really have much going on, so she was fine with that. So she was okay. She was kind of planning on coming up yesterday. I guess. I'm not sure why she thought that that was going to be the day, but, so she took Eric in this morning, and they had a heck of a time getting there, because it was snowing a little bit, and, like, things are just a mess here. We live in the Northeast, and we have gotten slammed with so much snow, and there's, like, nowhere for it to go anymore, and so traffic is just bad, and, hang on one sec. And so, so they got in, they were late, but that was okay. Oh, he also had to fast for 6 hours, because they might have to do surgery, so they get there, he gets checked in and everything, and the next real information I get, is that the kind of head IR guy, I guess, came in, talked with Eric, said it's very unlikely that the port has moved, and if there were issues with the way that it was placed, he would have known that within a few days of it being placed, which, like, I totally agree with that from my experience. However, I don't agree that ports can't move, because my port has moved a little bit because of Lex monkeying around and you know, slamming into my chest and stuff, but not significantly. So, so this guy was basically saying that, like, it seemed pretty likely that they weren't going to have to do anything, or if they had to do something, it was going to involve going in and either like moving things internally or replacing the whole port. But he was pretty confident that nothing was going to need to be done. So he talked with Eric's oncologist, and his oncologist apparently is, like, fine with them not doing anything, and so he was just sent for an x-ray to make sure, and, like, but it sounds pretty likely that he's just going to be coming home. So that's the whole backstory. My rant is about the fact that he and my mom have spent the entire day, like, it is, I mean, so not the entire day yet, it's a little after 1, it's like 1:15, and so they left at 8:15 this morning, and they don't even know for sure if they're coming home yet, but it seems likely that they are. They've spent the whole day sitting around waiting when it seems like that wasn't necessary. I had to reschedule something because I didn't have anyone to stay here with Lex while he was napping, so I had to reschedule an appointment. And Eric has kind of gone through all of this stress of possibly having to have this minor surgery that doesn't seem like he's going to have. And I'm just, like, ticked off at the seeming disorganization and lack of communication and all of that Eric's doctors and everyone seems to have. And, like, that they seem to have this lack of consideration or understanding that, like, this disrupts our lives. When Eric has to go and spend an entire day and, like, someone has to take him or someone has to take care of Lex, like, that disrupts our lives. And they don't really, I mean, he needs whatever care he needs. And I'm really grateful that he's being treated where he is and, like, he's getting great treatment. But I feel like that's not the only factor in this whole thing. Like, we're still trying to live our lives. Our lives didn't stop when he was diagnosed and then, like, stay on pause until, you know, he's in the clear and doesn't need to have treatment anymore. So it's like, it's really frustrating. This is not the first time that this has happened. And it's just, today I'm just, like, done with it. And want to know who's to blame and, like, yell at somebody because it's just so frustrating. It is so frustrating. And there's not really a whole heck of a lot we can do about it because, it just kind of is what it is, and Eric is not likely to, you know, have a conversation with the PA about this because he doesn't like to rock the boat and mess up relationships that he's going to have with someone for a long time. So, I'm just ticked off. And, don't know why this communication couldn't have happened before, an appointment was scheduled, and like, I mean, they didn't do anything to him other than this x-ray. They didn't do anything to determine that nothing was going to need to be done. So like, just having people talk to each other and having, you know, this particular guy look at the CT scan, which he hadn't seen until today, like, it's just frustrating. And I don't want to seem ungrateful for the care that he's getting and stuff, but like, this is a long time. We've been dealing with this for almost a year, and we've kind of figured out a rhythm to it and stuff, and then something like this happens, and it like just totally messes up any kind of normalcy that we had, and just throws a wrench in everything. And this is not the only thing that's happened recently that's been frustrating with them kind of not being organized, but I'm not going to go into that now because this is already a long video. And so I'm going to stop ranting. I'm going to go and I'm going to eat my lunch while Lex is napping, and probably watch something on TV to calm myself down a little bit. And yeah, I hope this was received well and not taken badly, and you know, I just needed to talk and get it out. So so thanks for listening if you watched the whole thing, and I will talk to you again soon.